Hi guys, my name is Azhar and you're watching my YouTube channel Azhar Sasi. In this video, I'm going to answer a few questions that I have been getting on the comments of my videos or inbox of my Instagram. This is about moving to Argentina, how to migrate to Argentina, and every other question about Argentina. In this video, I'm going to just answer 10 of those questions and I'm going to have the other questions in my next video. So if you got any questions and they were unanswered in this video, please put them on the comments so that I can answer them in my next video. Let me tell you that all the answers that you're going to get is regarding the city Buenos Aires, and if you want to know about other cities, I am not sure about those, and based upon your questions I could research and let you know the answers for them. Before getting in the questions, let me tell you that I lived in Argentina for an year where I started to make some YouTube videos and it really reached to people, and since then I have been getting a lot of messages, comments, especially from Pakistanis, Indians and Bangladeshis and few other countries as well. There was one video in my channel which was about celebrating Eid of Ramzan in Buenos Aires, which got about more than 15,000 views. So I think most of the questions are from that video and also from other videos. I also want to emphasize on this point that all these answers are just based upon my experience and my perspective. It might change. It's been a year since I moved out of Argentina, so things might have been changed, but I have tried to get the information as recent as possible for you guys. We'll also discuss about how to get the PR for this country, how many years does it take to get a PR, and other visa related stuff. If you are passing by my channel, please do subscribe. Here I put a lot of cool videos which are really informative. Let's just get started. The first thing I want to talk about is about the visa. How do you get the visa? I went to Argentina through my company that I work for. I had a work permit for 1 year, so I could work there through work permit. Let me tell you that it took me 4 months to get the visa to my hand. I think Argentina visa is a long process. If you are applying for a work permit, process is entirely in Spanish. The documents should be translated. Since I had my company over there and here as well, we have to send documents from here to there. It took literally 4 months for me to get my Argentine work permit visa. But for other countries, I think it's really easy. I once had a conversation with a guy from France. He just got his visa in like 2 or 3 weeks. That was super easy. I think it all depends on the country, but for work permit through India, this is the scenario. If you are from the states Karnataka and Mumbai, then your embassy will be in Mumbai, whereas for all other states, I guess it's in Delhi. And there are only 2 embassies in India. It's not that you have the embassies in most of the important cities like the embassy of the US. Argentine embassy is just in New Delhi and in Mumbai, and only for those 2 states it's in Mumbai, and for other states and cities it's in Delhi. So I'm from Chennai. I had to go all the way to Delhi to attend the visa interview. So this was about the work permit, whereas if you're applying for a tourist visa, the process is same. You have to go to Delhi for applying the tourist visa. One more interesting thing is that if you have any valid US visa or Schengen visa, you could apply an e-visa for Argentina. I think that would be the greatest option that we have instead of applying only to Argentine visa. If we could get the US visa or the Schengen visa, it's easy. You don't even have to go to New Delhi for applying the visa. You can just apply it online through e-visa. That's the power of having a US visa or a Schengen visa. The next question is about the ticket cost. Let me tell you guys, the ticket cost is really expensive from India. I don't know why, because it's in down south of the world near Antarctica. It's costly. I'm not sure. I don't know why it's so expensive, guys. It costs around $1,800 for a round trip. That time 1 year ago, I think it might be even more during this pandemic time. But you know what, round trip for US is, it's just like 900 US dollars or or sometimes you could even get for 800 or 700 US dollars. I don't understand why a ticket to North America is that cheap and a ticket to South America is that expensive. Maybe the frequency of flights, like a lot of people fly to the US and that's why the tickets to the US are cheaper, and literally nobody flies to South America. Like you won't see a lot of Indians in South America except Brazil and maybe. So bear in mind guys, like the ticket to Argentina directly from India is really expensive. The other way to get these tickets cheaper from India is to go through via Europe or via Africa. There are some cheap flights, some African airlines that give you cheaper tickets compared to direct flights like Qatar Airways or Emirates, which are direct but are really expensive guys. I have seen a guy who has gone to Argentina through Spain, which just costed him something below 20,000 Indian rupees. So I think going through Europe and taking African flights will give a lesser cost of the airline ticket. The next question is Argentina safe? Is Buenos Aires safe? Yeah, it is quite safe but not totally safe. That means that there are petty thefts like mobile snatching, your bicycle will be stolen, and there are cases where people have been mugged in the streets by robbers at gunpoint. Every now and then we hear that there is some kind of robbery, crime going on the streets. I have seen a lot in the news. Fortunately, by God's grace, I haven't seen anything with my eyes, but I always see in the news that it happens everywhere in Buenos Aires. Not in, but I would say that the main city center is quite safe compared to the provinces, which is the outskirts of the city. If you go something like 13 or 14 kilometers away from the city, and there are few provinces where robbery is so common, like people are afraid even to stop their cars for a bit. Once I was driving in one of the provinces and my friend told not to stop the car because there are high chances that someone will point a gun and steal the car. So stealing cars, cell phones, sometimes even some small shops or supermarkets will be robbed at gunpoint. It always happens every now and then. I have seen a lot of police chasing somebody has happened, but in Buenos Aires downtown there is always police even in the night time in every street. It's quite safe in the city, I would say, but in provinces it's really difficult guys. You have to be, like they say in Argentina, ojo means you have to be careful. I don't even remember one single time that I flashed my mobile out. If you could see my other videos, I would have never filmed on the streets. I was really afraid to lose my mobile. Like easily, like with the blink of your eye, you will lose your mobile. Like they will come like this and zoom, they'll come. They are called as motochorros, like the thieves of the motorbikes. Motochorros will come, like you wouldn't know where they would come from, and they'll just take your mobile and go. That's petty theft, I would say, but there are serious thefts as well. My previous house owner's house was robbed. Like few people jumped in and had guns and they stole a lot of things from her house. So all these things are really common in South American countries. It's just you have to be really safe, and all these things just doesn't happen only in night. It happens even in broad daylight, so you never know when these things will be happen. It's always to be careful. You should be cautious of what's going on around you, who is around you. Like I always like around me, if someone is sketchy, so that I could be careful. It has always happened to me, so it's not totally safe, but it's fine. Like it's not that bad. At the same time, it's not totally safe. The next question is cost of living. I have already made a video about this topic where I mentioned the things that you could get cheaper in Argentina. So there is a list of things that you could find cheaper in Argentina and not anywhere else, and which surprised me. Apart from that, when it comes to the cost of living, it's really not that good, because the inflation is high, the economy really is bad. Month on month there is a difference in the price of the products. There is always a surge. Inflation is really common in Argentina, and I would say that if you are earning your salary in dollars, then you could have a good life in Argentina. But if you are earning in pesos, which is the local currency of Argentina, then it's of no good. You won't be able to save much. At the same time, there is a rule from government that no company can pay you in US dollars, so that's again a problem. So if you have a job that pays you in USD, or if you have a remote job, at the same time you have the visa permit to live there, it's well and good, you could have a great life. But if you are just earning in pesos, it's not going to make any sense if you have the mentality of saving money. So if you have like 1000 USD, you could live a good life, an average life in Buenos Aires. The rents are like 300 to 400 US dollars, so you could manage with $1000 an average life. But if you are earning in pesos and if you want to save money, then forget it. The next question is currency conversion. So the primary currency that gives you a good profit in Argentina is US dollars or euros, and peso, which is the currency of Argentina, is of nothing. And if you are an Indian, then just forget it. Getting paid in pesos is of no use. The rate of $1 is 150 pesos, but when I went to Argentina in 2019 May, it was just 42 or 43 pesos to $1, and now it's like 150. Just in 1 or 1.5 years, it shoot up so much. Like, you could see the difference. In India, it's just between $1 is just between 70 or 74. It's like just hovering around that range from last I guess 15 or 20 years. But just in 1 year, look at the surge that happened to the US dollars in. So this tells you the condition of the economy in Argentina. It's really bad these days, and unless and until you are not having in US dollars, it's really a bad decision to live there. So what if you're earning in pesos? Is it good for you to send it to your country like India? Let me tell you that transfer options in Argentina really suck. We don't literally have any options apart from Western Union, and Western Union is a thief. Like, don't ever trust Google's conversion rate, because it's not the real one, it's just in the Google. But in the market, in the streets, that's way more huge than what's showing in Google. So for example, if I'm sending 60,000 pesos from Argentina to India via Western Union, I would be getting just something around 23,000. Where is 60,000 pesos and where is 23,000? By the way, 60,000 pesos is an average salary in Argentina, and just think of the expenses that you would have with that 60,000, and you would get nothing if you are sending it to India. So there are transfer problems. So my only thing that I would recommend you is just deal with dollars or euros. No other currency is valuable in Argentina. If you want to get an idea on how much is the conversion rate, Western Union is the only place where you could check, because that's the place only where you could send the money from. See for yourself, you would know the situation of Argentine peso. The next question is the language problem. Is English spoken prominently in Argentina or Buenos Aires? No, it's always Spanish. Wherever you go to buy something or to speak with someone, it's always Spanish, and anything that you have to do would be in Spanish. But let me tell you one good thing about dealing with languages is that people of Argentina have a lot of time, and they are really patient, they are kind. They won't ignore you just because you do not speak Spanish. They would be there with you, they would help you, they would guide you, whatever the query that you have on the streets. So if you know how to use a Google translator, you could survive. So without English you could easily survive, but if you want to do any business, or you want to study, or you want to do a job, then Spanish is must. Otherwise, if you're just traveling around, you could easily have a great time with your English. Next question is, how many Indians are there in Argentina? I'm not sure why there are very less Indians in Argentina. Like I said, that the ticket cost might be one of the reasons for not having frequent travelers or people who are living in Argentina. I checked Google recently and it showed me there are about 2,500 Indians in Argentina, which was surprising to me because I just thought that there were just handful of Indians, like 100 or 150, all working in IT companies and other industrial jobs. I came to know an interesting fact that there is a Punjabi community in Argentina, especially living in a state called as Salta, Gurudwaras, Punjabi temples, I guess. So they migrated some years ago and they are living as like Indian Argentine families, and that's why I guess the count is so high. But whereas if you see in the city, there would be really very less Indian people, and it's really hard to find an Indian in Argentina or Buenos Aires. But there are a lot of Bangladeshis. My friends used to play cricket in Argentina, and we encounter a lot of Bangladeshis even in the streets, and there is a market where a lot of Bangladeshis sell. The other question I usually get is, sir, I want to move there with my family and start some business. I have been getting these questions a lot from Pakistanis. I'm not sure why they want to go to Argentina and start a business, and why not other country. I'm really sorry, I don't have an answer on how to start a business in Argentina, but I would say that there are a lot of taxes that you need to pay in Argentina for businesses, and mostly everything in Argentina revolves around taxes. It's a different kind of government. It's kind of a Robin Hood government, where the government takes money from the rich and pays to the poor people. That's the kind of government, and the interesting thing is the education and healthcare is free because of this thing. So you have to pay a lot of taxes if you are planning to do any business, so bear that in mind. And I know a person who does business in textile industry. I know a few people who have done like restaurants. They had restaurants, so there are people who have opened up businesses in Argentina. I think it's better that you get connected with them and get to know how to do it. Also, when you open a business and you earn in pesos, you don't have any profit at all. Like, again, you have to convert it to dollars, and buying dollars is not easy stuff in Argentina. The government has a lot of control in selling dollars to people. The bank doesn't sell it. The market rates are really high. So getting money in pesos is of no use as far as I am concerned. But I'm again saying, like, I have zero knowledge about this, and you must definitely touch base with some businessman out there. The next question is, what's the corona situation in Argentina and when the borders will be open? As far as corona is concerned, Argentina has put down another lockdown for 2 weeks. Just like India, they have a total lockdown like they had the previous year, since they have the same second wave just as India, and everything is slow. So I don't see any scope of opening the borders anytime soon. It's going to take some time, maybe next year, who knows. Like, we are talking about a third wave. So the answer for this question is, like, who knows, quién sabe. But people who have a work permit, who has a valid visa, they could easily get into the country. But for tourists and for the people who are aspiring to enter the country for the first time, then I have no idea when the borders will be open. Okay, finally to the million-dollar question, how to get the PR of Argentina. As far as I know, if you work there or live in Argentina for 3 years, you could apply for your PR. I think no other country gives a PR just for living in a country for 3 years, so I think it's a great option. And like I said, education and healthcare is free, so it's a great option. That's why a lot of people try to move to Argentina. But the process, how to apply that, how to get a work permit, how to live there in Argentina, I have no idea because I went through my job. I'm really sorry about that, but I'm still researching on that, and I would definitely get an answer for this when I find the answers. So if I get to know how to apply for a work permit, how to search jobs, or how to live there, I would definitely let you know, guys, for sure. But the education is in Spanish, so bear that in mind. So if you guys know how to do all these things, please let me know in the comments so that someone would see that comment and get benefited, and it would be really helpful for them to move or migrate to Argentina. So those were the 10 questions that I wanted to answer. If you have any other questions about other things that happens in Argentina, please do let me know on the comments of this video. I would definitely try to make another video answering those questions for you guys. Even though if I have no idea about those questions, I'll try to research and get back to you with another video answering those questions. So please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified when I post my next video. Hope this video was quite useful for you guys. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, please give me a dislike. I would really appreciate your feedback on my videos, guys. Also, please watch my other videos on my channel where I have shown a lot of things about Argentina and places to visit in Argentina. Follow me on Instagram, which is Azasasi, to get connected. So see you in my next video with more questions about Argentina. Until then, stay safe, take care, bye bye. Like always, like, comment, share and subscribe. See you until my next video. Bye bye.